off you pop.
Okay, very pleased to welcome a little selection of the Peas Cabaret team who've come to have a little chat with us. So we're going to be talking about all aspects of performing cabarets at the Champs. All right. Okay, so Pete, do you want to kick off with the first question?
Hello, boys and girls, by the way. Say hello to the world. Because we're all visible now. Hi, how you doing? Good, yeah. Right, banter. We did all this 10 minutes ago, but we're just going to, for the magic of the show, we're going to assume we've just met.
Who are you?
Who are you? Yeah. So we got the lovely Tess Newell, obviously, who's in charge of everything. We got Miles, who's got nothing better to do. He's turned up because he's everywhere.
I've got the
football on mute.
He's got the football on mute. Awesome. and then we've got the cheapskates, 3 of them in one camera because they can't be bothered to be individuals. So we've got Janine, Michelle, and Gary. That's all we're going to say. That they're just sharing a screen and nothing else. Right.
We're a different show, Pete.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if it pulls in the punters, I don't care.
We got a licence for that kind of entertainment.
Right. Do you know what? I was about to ask my first question and I hadn't changed the name of it. So, my first question is obviously going to be, we're going to start with Tess. I'm guessing the answer's you, but I'm going to ask the question, who created the Peas, or I suppose in more of a sense, how did the Peas come about?
Yeah, you're right. I created the Peas. I went, proper backstory, I went to the Champs when it was the Troxy, and I was having a day out with my husband. He said, I'll come to the Champs with you if you play golf with me. Obviously, I wasn't really thinking about it. I was like, come on, we'll be at the Champs a lot longer than I'm going to be playing golf. So we went off to the Troxy and we saw our first team cabaret there. And I was like, and that was Karen Brooks, Paul Brooks, the Brookses. And I was watching that and I was like, well, do you know what? I've done that. I've done that all my life, team cabarets. I reckon if I can get some poor, unsuspecting people to dance with me, I could do that too. So that's what I did. And then I randomly went round finding people. Miles was one of them at Canberra, actually. Miles ran away from me a lot. And I don't know if he just knew I was coming to ask him to be in the team cabaret or just ran away from me. That happens too. But I literally followed him around the dance floor and found him hiding behind a pillar and was just like, hello. I think you'll find you need to be in the Peas, which is going to be my dance troupe. Actually, to be fair, at that point, we weren't called the Peas. It was just my dance troupe that I am getting together.
Yeah.
And then over the years, have done that, exactly that, found people, poor, unsuspecting people, and said, first of all, what do you feel about dancing in front of people? You know, these questions in a roundabout way. And if they haven't screamed and fainted or run away and never spoken to me again, I've gradually crowbarred the idea in. So yeah, that's it. It took a little bit of time, and it took quite a few people who I'd say, like, you know, do you want to have a go? And they'd be like, yeah, all right. And I'd give them a bit of choreography to do, and over again. And this would be like a venue, for instance, on Thursday night when I used to teach at Uxbridge.
Yeah.
A couple of people were like, yeah, I'll have a go at that. And I'll be like, right, look, not really an audition, but here's 8 counts. Do this, and this. Yeah. And they go, okay, try it. No, wait a minute, do it again. And eventually we're just like, no, I can't do that. And they'd say themselves, no, I can't remember that.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah, too much. And so it puts them in or out. And then I had a few people be like, yeah, I'll do it. And then we went to our first rehearsal and they went, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And left the building. Yeah.
Oh, so all these guys were willing participants, shall we say, in the end?
Yes, in the end. And then I think when we get to first rehearsals, that's when everyone sort of goes, okay, what have I let myself in for? You better ask them that.
Oh, we will be, don't worry.
I noticed a bit of a reaction then from Gary and Michelle when you said willing participants. I get the impression that they're not quite agreeing with that.
It took us 2 years to get Gary to say yes to be.
2 years.
I'm behind the
I don't
camera.
mind filming it. Yeah. I think. Well,
So how did you finally get a yes out of him?
Oh God.
I badgered him till he couldn't say no.
It was a
You
little
wore
bit,
him down gradually.
yeah.
I can see the print. I can.
Yeah.
Well, we got
Awesome.
to the stage a little while back, didn't we? A couple of years ago, literally, where we had people that had to leave for varying reasons or injuries and stuff, and we were like, Gary, if you don't join, we can't do one. It doesn't matter. And then he was like, oh God.
Oh, all right then.
Oh, what?
So you guilt tripped him into it, basically.
Yeah. I'm not-
Fantastic.
whatever, whatever it takes. To be fair, Julie,
Top
Brian,
marks.
anything really.
Yeah. So we know Miles has been with you from the start. Has Michelle and Janine been with you from the start?
No.
Oh, no.
No,
How many shows in before you recruited those guys?
Oh, Michelle, I think you've done
I've done
5?
7.
7. Shush, have you? I mean, I don't even know. Not sure why you're asking me, to be fair.
Yeah.
And Janine, what have you done then? You've done 3, 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
And Miles has done them all, I guess.
yeah,
Miles has done 4,
there's 3 P's I think that have done them all.
3
That's
originals.
Tess, obviously, myself, and I think Michael.
I can.
Oh, little Michael.
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to think, Michael? Oh, yeah. I know Michael. Oh, yeah. It's a shame we haven't got him on tonight. It'd have been a giggle.
Yeah. He did say he would try and pop in.
Okay.
He might
Cool.
appear.
Yeah.
If he pops in, he pops in. Literally.
Okay.
He'll probably go in and go,
Right, can you guys hear the banging? Can you hear any banging going on?
No.
No, that's okay then. That's good. My husband's fed the dog, and the bowl is against the door, and all I can hear is thunk, 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 as the bowl is hitting the door, and I'm like, he knows I'm recording.
why is Barry's bowl against the
No,
door?
the dog bowl. He's fed the dog. And
Oh, the
the
dog.
bowl is on the floor. And
I had visions of Barry on the floor banging against the door. I'm like, what?
I thought the
that's
dog
how we
was
feed
called
Barry
Barry.
in this house.
I thought the dog was called Barry.
Oh,
Oh,
Sorry about
I
that.
might have to leave all of that in.
so moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
Tell me about the name. Where did the name come about?
Okay, so the first routine we did was Black Eyed Peas tunes shoved together, and they were pretty much shoved together at that point. Tony, bless him, who's not on, he is over the years after I did my attempt at, do you remember when you used to have to press record and play together, splice music?
Yeah.
It was a little bit like that with the first one, and I put some Black Eyed Peas tunes together for our first one, and we were known as the Ceroc Eyed Peas just for our own purposes, really.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it just gradually came about. It wasn't us. We just gradually, the Ceroc and the eyed bit got dropped, and we just became known as the Peas.
Yeah.
But other people saying it is, the Peas people. And we were like, right, yeah, well, let's go with that. That's what we've become known as. And also, look at your background. They're cute, huh?
Absolutely. Why would you not want to be a pea?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's how it came about.
Yeah, and it was very clever how you actually incorporated the P or P's in all of your following show titles. I guess that was very cleverly done.
That became a bit of a thing, It was like I'd think up a theme, and then literally a lot of the time the theme would be just like, oh wait, but can I make a name up? And as it got further on down the thing, I'll be like messaging people, right? Okay, if this is the theme we're going to go with, come on you go, think of some names. And some of them were fantastic that people came back with. They haven't all been my creation, I can tell you that.
Can you give us some examples for people watching who've not seen your shows and don't necessarily know the names?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, go on, everyone can chip in on this one.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favourite ones was Greatest Showman, which we named P.T. Barnum, obviously, because it was P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Anyone else want to have a go? Can you remember?
Showtime.
Sorry, Gary?
Strict P Showtime.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Strict
yeah.
P.
I remember that one.
War and Peas.
Oh yeah, War and Peas.
I found Peel Meet Again.
Oh yeah.
He'll meet again.
He'll meet again.
Yeah.
Can you remember one, Janine?
Call on Peas. That was our last one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love it.
yeah. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
The famous lycra clad.
Oh,
Focuses on that, doesn't it?
People have a thing now.
we must dig out the images.
Really? Do we really?
I can feel a montage coming on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And actually, do you know what? Jive Ho was our second one, so we must have, because of the music,
Yeah.
which was Jai Ho.
Jai-ho,
We
yeah.
didn't incorporate a P in that one.
Shock
No, you
horror.
didn't.
Huge ruiner. Just realised.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've seen all. Because I sadly have been around that long too, so I have seen them all. I remember the Ceroc IPs because I'm working with Miles back at Twyford back in the day when it got set up. Because I remember him coming along and said, "Oh, I'm doing the Ceroc IPs." I'm like, "Oh, okay, for the champs and that." So I remember that.
Yeah.
Jive Ho, I definitely remember that one.
Yeah.
And I remember it from the basis that a lot of you guys visited one night, and I thought, "Oh, I know just the track to play." And you put it on, and you all go, "Oh, okay." How did it all go? Yeah, it's a
Like
little bit
little
more.
wind-up dolls.
Yeah, it is. It's the funniest thing. It's a good tip. If any of you know any of the Ps and they come to your venue and you're a DJ, then work out what the track was. Put it on and just watch them go. Because they will. They'll all just go, "Oh, it's on." They run around finding each other.
Only
And
the
they
bits
just do the
that we
whole
can
routine. Sorry, Janine?
Been drummed into us so much, we just sort of, it's like, oh, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Like an automatic tick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you watch what happens if you put a tune on that isn't cut in the same place as ours is. And they're like, "Ah,
What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah. They're only good for about 30 seconds of the track.
Yeah.
On the music front, it's just out of curiosity, because I take it you obviously coordinate all the music for that as well, Tess, yeah?
Yeah.
So how many, just out of curiosity, what's the most cuts or most number of tracks in a set that you've done? Can you think?
I think generally 3 is the maximum we go to.
3?
3 different tracks.
Yeah.
But then that's not the only amount of cuts and things that we do, because again, in the very first one, there was like, go into your computer and find a transition piece, and it was but to just hide the dodgy cut that I did.
Yeah.
And sort of like intermittent noises to go over the tops of the cuts. And then when Tony got involved, who is heavily into music, really good with all the, he's got loads of editing equipment and stuff, and he got involved, and I ended up the last, it's got to have been 5 years, possibly more, going, Tony, right, so these are the tunes. This is exactly where I want it cut, and then I want it brought back in at this place, and then if you could rewind it a bit and shove this bit in here, basically remaster this, and then turn up to rehearsal with my music, I'd be very grateful. And he pretty much did. Comes out on top every time.
Cool.
You remember how difficult it was for him when we did the Top Gun one, and you were on it? That poor man.
Yeah. Because obviously, if you remember the beginning of our Feel the Need for Peas, which was the Top Gun parody one, I had this idea. I had seen years ago when I was very young a stage show that stayed with me called Dash, which had Wayne Sleep was the main guy in this, and one of the dances I'd seen was him doing a pas de deux with an 8-foot tall ballerina, and of course he's only 6 inches high. And they played over the top of it, him going, "Oh God, here she comes," you know, I've got to lump that thing around, you know, whilst he's going,
Yeah.
hello. And I say, well, it'd be a right old laugh if we could have us speaking about the thing. There's me, you know, it'd be all right.
Yeah.
On you go, Tony. And left them. Came in with all sorts of microphones and recording equipment, and we all had to go off, and he edited the whole thing together.
Wow.
And, you know, literally just got thanks for it. Very, very thankful for it. But he's a top guy as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. It's amazing how much sometimes people forget. It's like they turn up and they see you do this performance and they forget all of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
All the time and effort.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work that goes into it. Do you guys tend to share responsibilities for different things? Do people do different, like somebody do costumes or?
It's sort of changed over the years as well, because when we very first started, so again with Boom it was literally, and this has been the case right the way through, it's completely funded by everybody that's in the piece. There's no, you know, there's no money coming from anywhere else. So they're giving up their own time and they're giving up money to do these things. And we went out and bought cargo pants, vest tops from Primark. And it was all, you know, at the time then it was all like, you know, trainers and cargo pants to dance in. So that was okay. Yeah. When it came to Jive Ho, and I was like, right, I want Indian costumes. And then Tony's other half, Nikki, really creative and a bit of a seamstress, and she just literally, you know, bras made and these beautiful trousers and stuff made, lots of fittings and things. And then gradually over the years it's been like, right, this is the theme. And then thank goodness for things like Amazon and the like and eBay, because people, again with P.T. Barnum, I gave each person there what I'd like you to be character wise, and then they were able to go off and buy their own things. And we've had a few, look, I'm going to wear this, and then no, you're actually not.
Don't forget the blow up dolls.
That's what generally Miles is. Miles says, look, I'm going to do this, can I do this? And I'm like, no. It's a big no, Miles, no.
Although to be fair, most of Miles's ideas I think I would probably say no to as well.
My idea wasn't the blow up dolls.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, that was mine.
I love them.
I mean, I didn't want them to be blow up, to be fair. I would have quite liked, you know, to have something that wasn't quite as rigid and basically looked like a sex doll.
we got
like a were.
We did get through quite a few of them though, because they kept on getting their arms pulled off and things like that.
They kept exploding or gradually going down.
Did you have to ban Miles from taking them home?
Kind of phrase.
We did name all of ours.
You named them?
Yeah.
We named them, yeah. I've still got mine.
Remember yours, Miles?
It's Sybil.
Sybil.
That, for those who don't know, the peas have nicknames too, as well as the balls. And Sybil is Tess, because if you watch 40 Towers, Sybil is always barking orders, you see.
Thanks for that, Miles.
That's all right.
Yeah, mine was Brad.
Brad?
Yeah.
How about the rest of you?
Because of Brad Pitt.
Oh, do you know what? I actually can't remember.
No.
Oh,
shocking.
Because I brought so many of them. So if one broke, I just brought a new one.
So many, I can't remember all your names, darlings.
Cruise, because he was a lot shorter than me. Oh, that was it.
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
You should have just called him Gary.
I've got one in my dressing up cupboard.
Yeah.
Why are we not surprised, Miles?
No, not at all. Oh dear. So there was a little reference there to barking orders. So I'm gonna ask all the rest of you. What's Tess like to work with?
Oh,
yeah. All gone silent. Read from that what you will.
I think there's unheard thing out there that Tess is really strict, and it's not true. All of our rehearsals are just a barrel of laughs, and I think that's what's made it last so long for 10 years, because it's just so much fun. It's like anything you do. She's come up with a concept, she's got passionate about it, and she's the eye. She can see what she wants to do. So once we've learnt what we're doing, she then steps out and becomes the person who's just telling you straight, you're doing that wrong, you're doing that wrong. The only person she really shouts at is Miles.
I'm always getting told off.
Why does that not surprise me?
Miles is so busy watching everything at everyone else, he's not concentrating on himself.
There's, to be fair, there's a few of us that are who watch the performances, and a few of us have come up with our own special name for Miles in the group. He's known as the Echo. And I kid you not. If it's a terrible thing, but I can watch back some of the videos, and it really is. Da-da, 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 da-da. And I just thought, I can remember you guys coming and performing at Twyford, and it was just you just couldn't help but watch Miles.
Well, I remember the
It
time.
always reminded me of Sergeant Jones from Dad's Army. Attention!
Yeah, but I remember the time we came to Fleet to do a little show there once upon a time, and I can't remember which one it was.
And you did the Greatest Showman one for us.
Yeah, and we did one before that when we did the Cossacks or something like that. What was that one called?
Cossacks?
Well, we look like Cossacks.
Are you in a different troop, Miles?
No, we were there.
Moonlighting.
I think
we did do a different one, but I can't remember what it was.
Musical Peas.
Musical Peas, was it?
No, Katie was in it because I remember.
Katie was in that one, darling.
One of the ones I was really injured and I had a bad back. We all pranced in, but I didn't prance in. I just sort of walked in because I was literally strapped up with surgical tape to hold me up. Because the show must go on.
Oh, of course, bless him.
To be fair, Miles, bless him. If we'd have had to do number 11, it was probably going to be something like Casualty, but Casualties, because I was literally going to have to put Miles either in a wheelchair or a bed. And just we were going to dance around him because he's got so many injuries and takes so many tablets just to keep going. But you know what? Give the fella his due. He's always there, and he's. Yeah. I was going to say he's never dropped us. That's not true. I've been dropped from.
No, I've never dropped you.
Not in a performance, Miles. No, but in rehearsal.
So going back to one of your captions with Lynn on my arm.
The upside down. Yeah, which is upside down.
Now that was pre a champs. And straight after that, I had a cortisone injection so that I could actually move my arm for the champs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get that.
Gosh.
We've had some fair old injuries, either previous, things that have flared up, or had some fair old injuries within the P's as well, in rehearsals as well as illnesses and stuff. But that's what the amazing commitment from them all generally is, that they literally have to be bleeding out.
Yes. And I can back that up. I can back that up 100% with Tony. It was Tony, wasn't it?
It was. Well, Tony.
For those who may not be aware of this, I was briefly in the piece for about 6 rehearsals because one of the crew, Tony, was very, very ill, and he literally, for want of a better phrase, got off his deathbed and performed, which I'm very grateful for, because I wasn't sure after just 6 rehearsals. Everything's a bit scary when someone like Katie just says, "Stand there and catch me," and she just runs at you at 50 mile an hour and throws herself at you. And that was my first introduction to the piece, is I had to stand and catch Katie in midair, and I was like, what the hell? So that was fun and games. So I can appreciate why Tony was feeling like he didn't want to do it if Katie's coming at you like that.
I'm with you at that one, Pete, because I had Katie throw herself.
She has no fear, that girl. I've discovered.
And Tess.
Oh, that's right. That makes her good at what she does. You see.
Yeah,
no sense of your own mortality.
Yeah. But, I've seen. I think everybody who gets involved with these things, it's that once in a lifetime opportunity. Sometimes you're thinking, oh, put all this time and effort and hard work into it. You want to do it, and as much as everybody was probably like, "Are you sure?" You know, you've got to give them their due. If they want to do it, let them do it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, when Tony came back from that, I'm sure, like you said, he was at death's door. He had meningitis, and he did almost leave us. And when he came back for his first rehearsal, he couldn't string 2 words together.
Yeah.
Literally couldn't say a whole sentence, but he was there and he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing turn. But Pete, thank you for that. You were in my you're actually in my phone for a long time, for many years, as Pete Almost P.
Oh well, there you go. There's my fame of glory. I'm happy with that. I'm good with that.
She's deleted you now, though.
Hey, well, she would now. Yeah, of course, it's all over now.
In my phone, it just doesn't say that anymore.
No.
Just saved as do not answer.
Stop stalking me. Just out of curiosity, do you know? Probably a tricky question. Over the years, how many people have passed through the honour of being a P?
Oh,
gosh.
You know what? I've never sat and added it up, but I reckon between us we could do now. The original, it's easier to name probably the people that aren't in it now to give us a hand. So Ali Bailey, who just lives around the corner from me, is a dancer for years, and I met her like at school and then brought her to Ceroc. She was a P. Katie Bennett, she was P. Anna Haynes, is now Davidson. Julia, the lovely Julia Bennett, who was Paul's demo for years and years at Uxbridge. She was only stopped being it because she ended up moving away, and it ended up being too far for her to come with her job and everything for rehearsal. Andy Hill, obviously, who is a dragon through and through now.
Can't talk about him.
Oh, okay.
Turncoat.
He was on last night.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He did threaten to come on tonight.
The Dragons last night.
He did threaten to come on tonight.
He's always welcome. We always say that once a P, always a P.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've had any part in it, you're always part of it.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else are we missing, guys?
Paul
Alloway, obviously.
Paul Alloway, yeah.
Arthur.
Sally.
Arthur.
Lara.
Laura Score, yes, lovely Laura.
Yes.
Lara. And who else?
Who was the tall guy with ginger hair?
Oh, Nigel.
Nigel.
Yeah.
Rooster. He was called Rooster.
He was.
I remember Nigel.
And then that's it.
Tony. You got Tony, you got Michael.
Tony, who was in it, and Michael, yeah.
Mick Mahoney.
Mick Mahoney.
Mick Mahoney, gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Stretch. He was called Stretch because he kept on pulling the muscle.
Yeah. Crikey. And I know the more recent ones, you had Amy Barber.
Yeah.
Matt Highland.
Yeah.
And Crunchy, Victoria Watmore, Crunchy. Who, sorry?
Raz,
yes, Raz. Yeah, crikey. So there must be close to 20 to 30 maybe over the years.
Probably 20. About 20, I think.
So, yeah. But you guys have never really had. I think you always kept it like a nice subtle, like about a dozen max or something like that when you put a troupe together.
Yeah, there was original 5 couples.
Yeah.
What's the biggest team that you've had?
12.
12, but then the dolls, obviously.
24. So 24, yeah.
Yeah. That was literally the idea. Come on, how can we make it look like there's more of us?
Yeah.
So is it deliberately that you kept it small and compact?
Yeah, partially because it is very tricky to find people who one can commit to that, you know, the amount of rehearsal it takes, and pretty much like I said, unless you're bleeding out, you need to come to rehearsal. And for that in itself, it's very difficult to find people also in the same proximity to where we can rehearse relatively centrally to get that done. because otherwise, I mean, a lot of my current team were having to travel over an hour to get to rehearsals in both directions. And I'm like, right, rehearsal starts at 8, we'll try and finish at, it used to be 11, it was 8 till 11, and then, you know, it'd be 11:30, 11:45, and everyone's like, can we go on now?
Yeah.
So it is very difficult to get them together to do it. So that was partially the reason why. And then we managed to get an extra guy one year had said, in fact, I think it might have been the year that Matt joined, and I had already asked, so I can't remember who else, sorry, it escapes me. And I was like, right, the hunt's on, we need to find another girl and then we can go to 6.
Yeah.
And I quite like it. It works for transitions, but like I've always said to them, the fewer people that there are on the dance floor, the more visible you are. At some point somebody is watching you, Miles.
And on the basis that at some point somebody might be watching you, so if we go round, I say round the room, around the country, can you all think of what might be personally for you one of the most funniest things that's happened during either a rehearsal or a performance that you'll never forget? I'll tell you, we'll start with Miles because he's got
how many
thousands
involve
of them.
Miles?
Yeah.
Let's start with Miles.
It was the one where Alison, she was called Windy because, for obvious reasons. And we were at the Troxy, and part of the move was we span around at the end and split the girls on the floor. And we were in the final. It was the final, I think. And I thought to myself, she's going to go this time. So I span her out and I launched Alison quite a long way, and she slid into almost to the crowd. That was.
She did. Yeah. She came off the dance floor and ended up in the crowd on the floor. She exited the move gracefully, though.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you, Miles. Very good.
It's nice like that.
Yeah.
I think one of my all-time favourites is Michael.
Oh,
have I ruined you? I forgot yours, Janine. There's just a classic bit of video from when we took War and Peas. No, not War and Peas. What's it called? What is it called? With Peel Meat Again. God, it's been a while. To Canberra. We were invited to go and do it at Canberra, which I absolutely love it. When we're invited to go and do it at a weekender, the atmosphere is just so different. It's just fantastic. And you can find it on YouTube. It's absolutely fantastic. We're all getting into a line to come forward. And Michael just literally wanders off towards the stage. And he's not like walking, he's doing his like, yeah, come on, I'm properly enjoying this dance on the way. And you can see all of us go, and then they're all going, Michael! And he suddenly screeches back into place and is like, yeah, it's all right, I was here all the time, whatever.
There's our reaction afterwards, because we go into like a train move and you can all just, we're absolutely pissing outside. Let's go.
Tess, don't forget your shoe.
Oh my God, the shoe, yes. Again, another Canberra moment. So in Speak Peasy, we were at Canberra, and I had, actually this had happened to me in rehearsal on a slightly different bit. We split the line that we were in, went crossways and then back into another cross, so that we could all split partners and end up with someone else. And I ran across in rehearsal and my shoe flew off. We only ever have a rehearsal with people there once before we do it, so they've got, that's it, you know, it's all kept under wraps, and only friends and family are invited if they want to come. And my shoe flew off and hit some poor person.
And I said to you, is that your shoe?
Yeah, I think this is yours. And then we went to Canberra, and again, you can see it on the video, there's a move where I'm sort of tucked down and being pulled backwards, and the heel of my shoe pulls off my foot, and I'm held under the arms, and I sort of T-Rex arm, go down to get my shoe, and then the rest of the circle, you can see people going, "Whose is that shoe?" And me going to Miles, "That's my shoe over there." Then to someone else, "My shoe's lost." And then people on the stage are like, "Is that her shoe?" Yeah, the whole of the rest of the routine, one shoe. I didn't slip over, thank God. But yeah.
Excellent.
I've got another one.
Hold on. We'll go back to Miles then. Go on then.
It was
I'll
Carolyn.
get to you guys in a minute. All right.
It was Carolyn who I don't think we mentioned as a P.
Oh yes, Carolyn. Sorry, Carolyn.
Well, we were in that dance studio at Uxbridge swimming pool, and that we'd rented one night.
Yeah.
And Carolyn wasn't in a happy place at that time, and I was in front of her, and I bent down and stood up. And as I stood up, my jeans split from the thigh up to my Jurassic, and she laughed, and I laughed, and she laughed, and she kept on laughing, and I still giggle about that one.
Probably cheered her up.
Yeah,
She couldn't believe what she wasn't seeing.
Yeah.
No, she did say I needed that.
Okay. Well, moving on to you guys. Let's. So, apart from I know they probably nicked most of them, but anything that springs to mind for you three?
One that springs to mind for me is Southport, P.T. Barnum, Stretch, Mick, and Victoria, where we had another unfortunate case where Victoria, she might kill me for saying this, but Victoria's hair caught in one of Stretch Mick's buttons on his jacket.
Yeah.
I remember I caught it out the corner of my eye, and all I could see was Victoria's head going. I was like, that's not part of the routine. We should be over there by now.
Oh, she's never mentioned this, so yeah, we'll certainly.
Her hair out.
Yeah.
To get into,
They just ripped her hair out to get to the next bit.
No, really.
you can see on Mick's buttons later a
His
whole
button.
clump
Oh
of hair.
God. Poor
Wow.
girl's probably still got a bald patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless
Look
her.
who joined us.
Oh, we have. Hold on
We
then.
got-
Hello, mate.
Ah, hello.
Woohoo.
Well, thanks everybody for coming.
Right,
It
thanks,
was
mate.
lovely to
Bye.
have. Well, that was it. We were literally just saying goodbye, Raz. So it was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, you're very welcome, mate. So for what you've missed, tough. You'll have to watch. You'll have to watch the playback. But nice to have you with us.
Likewise.
You're probably going to get all the questions now,
I was
so we'll
going
get
to
you
say,
to answer everything.
let's throw that
Oh,
question
no.
over.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, what we were literally just working around the country, asking everybody if they can remember what their funniest moment was during either rehearsal or a performance. Does anything come to mind?
Pressure.
Yeah. This is
Shall
what
I
you get
jump-
for turning up late.
Got one.
I think the time Miles headbutted me.
How did that happen?
There was actual tears, wasn't there, on that one?
Oh.
Was that like part of the routine or just something that happened?
Yeah, it was kind of part of the routine.
Which
No, actually
routine
not.
was it?
it
Was
was
that?
when we both were rushing to catch Michelle.
Oh yes. P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
We were at the end and we had to catch her with her arms like that. And as she comes in, Raz came in and headbutted me.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I stood my ground.
Yeah.
Well, at least it didn't drop Michelle, which is the important thing.
I like the fact that you both blamed each other for the headbutt.
Well, we had to catch the prize because it was quite a drop. So if we'd have dropped.
Yeah, I think if you,
Michelle's name is Bouncer. We didn't want to see her bounce.
Oh.
well, actually, more than that, if we have dropped Michelle, we would get much more damage than that. So
Yeah.
What was that? We missed that.
Yeah.
What was that, Janine?
You know the other P we've missed? Lolly.
Lolly, of course, yeah. Yeah. It's all right. We were asking earlier about if they could remember who's been P's over the years, and it's quite a long list.
It
So
is.
they were just working our way through
nearer
it.
30p, but I think you might
Yeah,
be
it probably
right.
is nearer 30 now that you think
Gone
about
up from
it.
20p to 30p.
Yeah.
Yes.
High
Gone up in
inflation.
value.
If it 30, yeah.
Yeah. So I know I'm going to regret asking this question, but if I had to ask the whole group and said, who is the joker of the group, are we all going to just look to one person who's with us now, or is there someone else?
No,
No,
No?
I don't think so.
I actually think Michael Token is one of the most hilarious people we have in our troupe. He
Really?
It's
He is-
hilarious.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've only got to look him as Napoleon in Barnum.
Yeah.
That's funny.
When he's waddling out on his knees, that's got fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I love that. I
Double
absolutely love that.
Yeah.
In fact, I found a picture of that the other day. It came up on my memories and literally screenshot it and sent it to the P's and was like, let's just take a moment to appreciate this. Because he just does things like that. He just takes everything. I mean, they all do. They're incredible. Like, and here it is. I think everyone should take, if you can see this.
Oh, yeah.
And
Is he standing up in that before he
he
has to get
is
into character?
standing up in
Standing
that.
Oh, I think part what I might be doing is finding a few images before we do the show. When we do the show,
I definitely think a montage is in order.
So we've got a week or two, so you never know. We'll see how it goes. So we know who the Joker is. Is anybody on this team at any point who is the serious one?
Or the shy one?
The shot, yeah. Well,
I'm shy.
Yeah.
I think Victoria is probably the most shy one, but maybe Janine. Look, Michelle's what are you getting your hand up there, love?
Because I'm being Little Miss.
Oh
Because
yes.
Can't ask a question until she puts her hands up to actually ask it. So Victoria is definitely this one.
She is the
oh,
shy
is she?
one.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
Oh.
so polite. Yeah. You know, and if she's got anything to say, she'll either put her hand up, you know, and we're like, I'll say, like, you know, Victoria, you can just talk to me. You don't have to. You don't have to put your hand up.
She probably can't get a word in edgeways.
Yes. Yeah, to be
Like
fair,
me.
that is true.
But you're probably thinking on the other side, going, "I wish everybody would be like Victoria," and put their hands up rather than just keep going on where I can't listen to them.
Yeah, occasionally I do. It will be like we're an hour and a half into rehearsal, and somebody said something funny, and then we've gone off on a bit of a tangent, and you know, I'll gradually back off and look at the clock, and I'll be right. You know what? We need to do it again, and we need to get it. Or I just press play and start dancing, and they're like,
yeah, can't beat a stuff like that.
I was going to ask, can you each tell us what your favourite one of the cabarets has been?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll start with the three of them. I was going to say threesome then.
I knew what was going through your head.
Yeah, whatever. So you guys are up first. If you tell us what you believe is your favourite cabaret that you've been involved with.
I am literally a 50-50 split between Speak Peasy.
Yeah.
Was Charleston, and at that time I'd never seen another cabaret do anything else like that. So to do with the Champs, and I just thought that was amazing, and that was my second go of being in the P's, and I wasn't scared anymore of the group. I wasn't shy, and I absolutely loved it. And then actually Cool on P's, our last one, because that was just the most fun to do.
Yeah,
so much fun.
Cool.
So
Mine's P.T. Barnum by far.
Yeah.
Because
I love the music. There's not a bad track on that. That whole film is just, it just reinvigorates what actually what musical film should be. And it was really quite natural to transfer that from film into a cabaret. And I think there wasn't a moment in it, even though, you know, there was a little bit of a classical element to it at the beginning, there wasn't a single part of that whole routine that I wasn't smiling naturally the whole way through. So the whole side of it just went completely to the side.
Yeah.
Mine is a split again, and
and it's Peel Meet Again, even though I wasn't in the troupe officially for Peel Meet Again, but it was really important to me because that's when I started going to rehearsals, because I sort of just lingered around until Tess said, okay, you can find Walker, and I'm very tall and I haven't got much coordination, and Tess calls it, I need a period of adjustment. So, I finally wore her down, and then I stood in for Canberra.
Yeah.
And that was just really fun, and I just love performing.
Yeah.
So that would be my first favourite. And then my next favourite is Call on Peas, because I just really, really enjoyed every single second of that. I think we laughed the most in rehearsal because the moves were just ridiculous.
Well, very genuine.
It was cheesy, wasn't it? We were just really cracking up, thinking, "Oh, we hope this goes down well. We hope people laugh."
Yeah.
Imagine having people think that we were taking ourselves seriously doing that. I literally got sleepless nights. I was like, oh, "What if they don't realise we're taking the mick? What if they think, what, she loves herself a bit too much?" Yeah. We need a synopsis at the beginning to make sure everybody understands we're taking the mick. Hopefully it worked.
What about you, Raz? What was yours?
I must say P.T. Barnum. Yes. Yeah. I think that was quite different to, basically I only have done 3, so out of the 3, the P.T. Barnum was quite different.
What was
like
the other 2
Gary
you
said,
did?
Pardon?
What was the other 2 you've done?
The first one is Top Gun.
Yeah.
Then P.T. Barnum, and the last one is Call on Peas.
Call on Peas.
Yeah. So I liked P.T. Barnum a lot.
Cool.
Because each one of us has a different character, an individual character, so it's quite unique.
Really good. Cool. I'm dreading this one, but I'm going to ask Miles now because this could take a while.
Well,
Because it'll have a list.
No, I'm a great musical fan. So with cabarets, if you've watched the ones we do, there's musicals in them because Tess loves musicals as well, so obviously. But Peel Meet Again, because I love that music, and it was, I think I've sort of hinted a few times, I think we should get a bit of Glenn Miller somewhere. And I know Tess has got reasons for having Glenn Miller in it and everything. But P.T. Barnum, again, that was just crying out to be done. And we were the first to do it. I know a few have done something similar since, but that was a good one. And I'd like to have taken that more, but we can't because there's too many of us. But those are the 2 that stand out.
Cool.
And I'm with Bouncer a bit as well, the Charleston one.
Yeah.
Can't remember what that one's called now, but that was cool. But we'll meet again.
We'll meet again.
Right.
And finally, this is probably the hardest one for you, Tess, as these have been your babies throughout. So getting to choose 1 or 7 is
or 10. I think they all start off as my favourite because obviously they're all my babies, and I think it's time to say now that anybody that does choreograph these things, I do forever say to the P's, and I mean it, but everybody should hear it. If you're a choreographer and you've got something in your head and you just know what you want, you know what you want it to look like, it's not possible without the people that you persuade to do it, and them bringing it to life then makes each one become your favorite thing because they've breathed life into what was going around in your head. So it is quite tricky to pick because I have favorite moments out of all of them. But I think my personal favorite is probably Speak Peasy, and that's got a lot to do with the music. My dad had not long been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia, and the music that I used for it was his music that he brought me up with. And so it always brings a sort of a chord of emotion with it because I knew that was one of the last ones that he would see and remember. And the same applies to Peel Meat again, because that's like Miles referred to earlier, the music in that was partially of my dad's taste. So obviously they have a huge emotional tie for me, but I loved Speak Peasy not only for that, but because again Charleston is just such a lot of fun, and to be able to mess around with Ceroc and show that you can do Ceroc moves and break them up into pieces and put other things in them, and they're still Ceroc moves, it's still partner dancing. I think that was, and then breaking to single dancing and the hand clapping thing in the middle, which by the way, that took some time and putting, you know, little things in it, like we had the at the end was from Friends, you know, and to us, all those little things that went through rehearsal, and then it just came good, and the audience at the Champs went mental and really enjoyed it all the way through. Somebody's captured that actually from the stage that year. The audience were on the stage as well, and I have a video of that from the reverse angle, and one of my favorite things to do if I'm having a little reminisce is to watch that video and watch the audience reaction to it. You know, as you see people point stuff out and really laugh and are getting into it, and that's what it's all about for me. If I can make people smile and be like, yeah, I want to have a go at that, job done.
Cool, fantastic. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you ever so much, guys, for giving up your time and a bit of yours, Raz. And
he was always late to rehearsal.
If you're going to come late, Raz, you're going to get picked on. You know, that's how it's going to work. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys do this for us. Hopefully, we will see more. Well, that's I think I know the answer to this, but there is the question: anything in the future? Is there anything looming? I heard a rumor you've hung up your hat, but you never know.
Well, I was a few times I've sort of said, you know, do you know what, I can't do this anymore. One, I can't think of anything to do, and two, it's just too much, it takes too much time. And then it was like, right, do you know what, we're going to get to 10, and getting to a 10 is a huge achievement. I'm properly proud of that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the team for doing it. And then obviously lockdown comes and my year off comes, so that all tied in nicely. And then I still go, I thought, oh yeah, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. So yeah, they've all been told, yeah, you know what, I've hung my boots up. Unless I phone you up and say we need to do another routine, are you still in? And most of them have said they still are. So
excellent. So there you go. There you go. Onwards and upwards. So again, guys, from me personally, thank you ever so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching you guys perform over the last 10 years, and been slightly involved as well, which was a joy to behold. Scary as hell, you know, probably 6 months rather than 6 weeks next time. That would be nice.
You're a squirrel now.
Whoa, okay, I've done a squirrel thing. I've done one squirrel thing. Oh, I'll never live it down. But it's just the way it goes. You never know. There might be a combination of all cabarets in the future. You might have to do a little, maybe all the cabaret teams might get together and say, let's take a couple from each and create a super cabaret team of even. I'll just watch it. So we're going to call it a wrap there, I suppose. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure to have you guys on. We appreciate that not everybody could make it due to commitments and so forth. I did set the rule. I said, look, I can't be bothered trying to work out who's available. We're just going to set a time and a date. If you can make it, you can make it. But everyone's got challenges. Anything from you, Jules, before you make me shut up properly?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I can see by the smiles and the laughter as you guys have been reminiscing how bonded you are. And it's lovely. It's really, really lovely to see. And it's a real testament after 10 years of doing it to have that camaraderie. And to still be doing it after 10 years and still, you know, all be that excited about it is really, really lovely. So it's a testament to all of you for that.
Cool.
Nice.
So thank you very much.
So thank you guys for coming on, and we'll say don't go anywhere, but we're just going to say bye-bye for the punters.
Bye.
Right, so